Hey, Amy Posner here, and in this seventh and final video on content marketing, we're going to talk about two things today as we wrap up, and that is how and why. Okay, so we've talked pretty much about how, but I want to reiterate, go for the medium that feels easiest to you. If this feels onerous, try and strip away the things that make it feel difficult and make it easier for yourself. I mentioned podcasts. There's a lot of opportunity, but not a lot of control. Blogs and articles give you more control over the content. But you're responsible for getting it out there. Pod, for example, you're often, when you do speak on a podcast, you're asked to promote it as well, but you know that it's going to be promoted by the pod owner / producer and get in front of their audience. Any medium, though, that works for you is the medium that you should start in. And, be creative about it. It doesn't have to be anything anyone else is doing. It just has to deliver value. So let's talk about the why. Why are you doing this? And I know I started the video series talking about that, but I think it's worth reiterating why this is worth it. It establishes you in your marketplace. It establishes your expertise. And again, and I've said this many times in the series, even if you don't feel like an expert, you have an opinion and you have things to talk about. And really, don't be shy about that. I mean, hey, you can do your first piece and throw it in the trash. Just get that first piece done and you'll know what you have to improve and where you want to go. Again, I've said it many times, but getting started is the hardest part. So get started. It also provides proof. It proves that you know what you're talking about, that you are an actual expert with some knowledge and some authority. And again, don't worry about how much you have compared to anyone else. There is no way in my book that you are selling a product or service if you don't have expertise in it, especially a service. I mean, you can get into all the comparisonitis you want, but if you've got a business, you've got an opinion, you have a viewpoint. It gets you work. It gets you inbound work. And getting an inbound lead is so much nicer than having to go after things. This is going after things, but more passively, right? Because you're not coming directly to me and saying, hey, can I offer you this? Would you want this? You're going out to the world at large, and then people can come to you. And the more they see, the more they might gravitate towards you. They see you, you have something to say. You say it consistently. You're real, you're established. It makes a great impression. It makes it easy for you to get found. And it's so much easier, even when, whether something is inbound or outbound, when you're talking to someone, if you can point to content you've created, it's really impressive, right? Like I can send potential clients to my YouTube channel, and they're like, wow, you've created 70 videos on this topic. Let me see what you have to say. And then they can find out, does my viewpoint gel with theirs? Am I someone they might want to talk to or who might understand them and what they're trying to accomplish? It builds your confidence. It's hard to do, and it sort of challenges your confidence at first, but once you've done it, it builds your confidence like nothing else. You start to feel like the expert. You start to realize you have things to talk about, and I promise you that you do. Again, it gets you inbound. Inbound is a brilliant thing to have. You can also use it if, once you have built some bank. I mean, you've gotten some things out, you've delivered value. Now you have earned the right to drive traffic to offers, right? I mean, there's probably a formula for give to get. But once you give, you can ask for a get. You can, hey, I'm offering this, go check it out. However you're promoting it. Lots of ways to do promotions, but earning the credibility by delivering a lot of value and delivering it for free gives you the right to now, ask to exchange money for something without, feeling like that's all you're after, because it's not. The other thing is you control it. It's really nice to have, especially in a small business, to have things that you feel in control of, especially when you want to make it rain, when you want business, when you need a client. It gives you control because now you have an audience and you can talk to that audience. Even, I've had people, who do this, and then maybe what they need is, maybe it's your end like it is now, and they'd like to have one more client, or it's the middle of summer and things are slow and they'd like to have another client. You've got a whole audience of people now that you can go to and say, hey, I had an opening in my schedule. Here's what I'm offering. Or, hey, during the month of August, I'm offering, some kind of a special service. And so building that bank of credibility entitles you to then, go back to people with asks. So in wrapping up this series, I want to say to you that this is a really, really worthwhile endeavor. I think it's something you should start sooner rather than later. Choose some easy and some hard. Choose some places that might be hard to get published, but, make that a goal. Like, you keep sending articles to Fast Company or sending article ideas, because in each publication or medium will tell you, how you could present content to them. But often with magazines, you float an idea, and they have specific ways that you float that idea, what should be contained therein. But choose one that's hard and make it a goal, and choose one that's easy, and have some fun and feel validated. Create a 3-month minimum plan. 12 months is really great, but 3 months is manageable. And so do it, and strike on one of your hardest ones early, because sometimes you have successes with those, and it can just change everything. It can change your thinking. It can change who you're getting in front of, who you're talking to. Remember to have a reasonable publishing frequency. Don't appear all at once and then disappear, and don't appear with a whole lot and then have a big gap and then appear with a bunch of stuff again. Because each time you're having to reestablish traction and redo it. Make a creation calendar that dovetails with your editorial calendar. So literally plan it, put it in your book, and consider working with topics or themes for each month, because that makes it easier to think about, what to produce, because you can even have one long piece that you then break up into multiple pieces. It's an easier thing to do than, coming up with a new idea each time and having to flesh that out. And finally, look at publication dates. If there's somewhere that you want to go, see how long in advance do they, and this is true for some online places too. I mean, they've got editorial calendars. They know what they need, and they may require it 2-3 months, even 6 months in advance for some of the bigger publications. So get a sense, so you don't get your hopes up and then realize, I'm talking about marketing. They talk about marketing in January, and they had that finished in November, and it's December, and I'd have to wait a year to pitch them. So make sure that you're careful about the editorial calendar. If you have questions about any of this, I am really happy to answer them. I love having this conversation. You can post it here. You can email me, amy@amyposner.com. You can go to amyposner.com and fill out a form. We respond to all of those as well. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope it's motivated you. Honestly, it is the best thing that you can do for your business, short and long term, because it really starts stirring up interest. And remember, you'll always need interest. So thanks for watching. If you want to be notified when more videos are available, click the bell and we will let you know. Bye for now.